Welcome to the Dumb Idea Podcast with Mike and Alex. Thank you for joining us, and we hope you enjoy the show. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share this video or podcast on any platform that you're listening on. Please visit us at www.dumbideapodcast.com. All right, welcome back to another show. This show is one that we've been talking about doing since we started this podcast probably over a year ago. Because we're about a year and a month, a year and 2 months in. And we had talked about doing this episode. And we were going to do it with more people.
Yeah, we're going to do it with some of the knuckleheads that have been on before. Some of our previous our recurring characters.
Yes.
We might still have to do that though.
I'm not saying, because I think we're going to leave off a lot. That I think we might have to do this one again. But it's going to be extremely controversial.
So this is like, we're two pitchers. We're pitching a simulated game.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing here.
Which is unfair. It'll be unfair for the guys that come on and do this next time with us.
For them.
But I don't care. So I'm not opposed to rigging the game. All right. So as most people who have listened to us can probably tell, I'm a big movie fan. I mean, half my conversation is based in movie quotes. And you're also, I mean, I want to say you've watched a ton of movies, but you've probably watched close to as many as I have.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't know there are some movies like, and you know, some of you might, I hope you don't crash your cars when I say this. I've never seen The Godfather.
Oh,
yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, see?
Jeez. You're going to throw that out there right in the beginning?
Just right off the break.
Okay. Wow, all right. Okay.
So
I think not many people clicked off because of that.
Right.
Like, oh, this guy.
Or they're like, well, wait. What? And I don't know why. I've just never... My father loved it. Like, he had the posters and everything hanging up. And
there's a commitment with it because the movies are really long. Like 1, 2, and 3... I think they're close to 3 hours apiece.
Yeah.
Like, you need to set aside time.
Yeah. There are some movies that I've never seen all the way through, but I've seen them in their entirety, just in sections.
Okay.
One of those would be Step Brothers.
Right.
Which might be on the list.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I loved it.
You're setting the bar real low.
Yeah. I have different...
We're going to have completely separate lists.
Yeah. But I've never seen that movie beginning to end. I've seen like the first 5 minutes going up because it's always on TV somewhere.
Right.
So yeah, there's movies like that I've never seen. Then there are other movies I've seen a million times, and if it's on, I'll always watch it.
Yeah.
So, but I usually don't like watching movies on TV because I can't stand the commercials.
Right.
So
the idea for the show is each of our top 5 movies. I don't think we're going to be able to stop at 5. There's going to be too many movies that get left out, at least for me. And then we got to set parameters here because here's another thing. In this day and age with Netflix and HBO, the miniseries is alive and well.
Oh yeah, like the one you just watched. For example.
So, and this might cause people to also click off. I just watched Band of Brothers. Just watched it. Everyone has always told me how good it was. I've just never had the time to sit and just watch it. And this last weekend, my wife took the girls to New York City. So I had the house to myself. It was a staycation for me. I was like, I'm going to watch Band of Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't stop watching it.
Oh, it's awesome.
Like, I watched all 10 episodes in under 24 hours.
Yeah. And Band of Brothers really is like watching 5 movies.
Yeah. Right. And that's exactly... So, for me, it's almost like a trilogy of movies put together, although it's... Or one 10-hour movie. What was that meme? Like, hey, I made a movie. It's 10 hours. We watch it? Nope. What if I break it up into 10 episodes? 10 1-hour episodes and put it on Netflix. Will you watch it? Yep. I'll watch it 10 hours, and I'll watch it all 10 hours at a time.
Binge watch it.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I literally, I think I stopped to sleep, and that was it.
Yeah.
I woke up and I just went right back to it. So I don't know. Should we include miniseries?
I mean, it's kind of a genre.
So
Let's just see where this takes us.
We'll separate that out.
Okay.
Let's separate that out. We'll do movies, and then seeing how much time we got left, maybe we'll do like miniseries too.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna go first. My all-time favorite. I'm starting off with my heavy hitter.
Okay.
My number one is a movie called Swingers.
Okay.
Swingers was everyone's introduction to Vince Vaughn and Jon Favreau. Now, they might have done movies together other times, but this was the one that they were known for.
Yeah.
Basics of the movie, Jon Favreau tries to become an actor/comedian out in California. He's from New York. He's all bummed out because he thinks his girl dumped him when he was the one to move it all of a sudden. But basically, it's just all about building up his confidence. And Vince Vaughn is the buddy he meets in California, and he's the one trying, like, he's the ultimate. This is when the Vince Vaughn character that he plays in every movie started.
Okay.
There are so many quotes that come out of this movie, though. Like all the beautiful babies. When someone goes, double down, that was from this movie.
Okay. Yeah, my roommate in college loved that movie. And I never saw it. Like, he had it back when, like, everyone had DVDs.
Yep.
And he had I could have gone up and said, hey, man, let me borrow Swingers from you. But I never did.
It was amazing because it was cinematically, it was a fairly slow movie. Like, it was essentially this guy who was out in California and depressed, and the whole movie is about him getting over the girlfriend. And at the end, maybe he does, maybe he doesn't.
Yeah.
Or maybe he goes back to New York. But it's about that mental journey of basically a young guy going to pursue his dreams who gets depressed about being alone.
Yeah.
But throughout it, it's hilarious. So for me, that's for me, that if that's on TV, I'll watch it. Although you're right, I hate watching movies on TV.
Yeah. Because they also edit it. Like, everyone knows what he's saying.
Right.
You know, we don't need to bleep that out.
That could be a different genre. Movies you'd watch if it's on TV. Because there are definitely specific ones. I don't care about the commercials because I'll just take a break, I'll get up or whatever. Or I'll look at my phone.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Just because I've seen the movie so many times that if I look down on my phone while I'm watching it or whatever, it doesn't matter because I know I can visualize it in my head as I hear it, right? But I don't want to say any of them because they might be on our lists. But Swingers for me is a number one.
Okay. So my number one's a little bit different. For those of you that have listened to anything on this thing, you know that I'm on this. Listen to me at all on this show. You know that I'm a huge airplane nerd. My number one is Top Gun. I will watch Top Gun at any time. The music's awesome. Kenny Loggins did the score for it. So there's an entire generation of Navy fighter pilots, of naval aviators that are doing that because of that movie.
True.
It's airplane porn, you know. But I'll never forget. So when I was a kid, we had just moved to Maryland. I was about 7 years old because I think it came out in '86. My mother took us to the movie theaters, and we were going to go see Top Gun. But my sister threw a tantrum because she was 5, and we didn't see Top Gun. You know what we went to see instead? The Care Bear movie. And I've never forgiven her ever since then because I could have seen Top Gun in the theaters when it first came out, Nope. I watched the Care Bears movie. But Top Gun, and people, might downplay it, but there's people who are always quoting Top Gun.
Yeah.
Need for Speed, Where'd Who Go, like all that stuff. Goose is a great character. Got killed off. I think he got killed off because he was going to take too much of the limelight from Maverick.
Rest in peace, Goose. By the
Yeah,
way.
yeah. So, but yeah, I love it, and they're coming out with a sequel. It's funny. I'm not excited about the sequel
because there's no Goose.
Right. There's no Goose, and then also, okay. So I'm also a nerd when it comes to realism. So, in Top Gun, Maverick was a lieutenant commander. So by that point, he had some time in the Navy. No, I'm sorry, he was a lieutenant. So he had some time in the Navy, okay? So he ended up, this is 1986, but he's still in the Navy now, and it's 2022. So he's well past retirement age.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden now he's flying F-18s.
But do we know it takes place in 2022?
I mean, there's Super Hornets that have to take place, within the last 5-6 years.
That's something. Because they didn't make him look older.
Well, no, because Tom Cruise hasn't aged. It's all the Scientology.
Right.
So.
Right. Speaking of looking over our shoulders here, we mentioned the word Scientology. We might have the Leah Remini going clear. If you haven't seen that one,
yeah,
jeez.
In a positive way though, it keeps you looking young.
Sure.
So, but yeah, I'm not looking forward to the sequel. So,
you're gonna watch it though.
I am. I'll wait till it comes out. I'm not gonna go to the theater though.
Yeah. No.
I don't go to the theaters anymore.
I do for the right movie. Just because the theaters are better now.
Yeah.
Like nice big seats, reclining.
You can fall asleep pretty quick.
They bring you food.
Yeah.
It's like my living room, only with maids. Or butlers, or whatever you want to call them. I definitely, with that movie, though, there's so many things that, the sequel, I mean, there's so many things they can do to screw it up.
Yes.
And I hope they don't. Because sometimes when you screw up the sequel, it ruins the original for people.
Yeah.
So they're messing with an iconic movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not my top 5, but Top Gun, for me, I'm in my 40s. I still remember seeing that movie for the first time. And don't get me wrong, I thought some of the romantic stuff was cheesy.
Yeah, it was stupid.
But it still holds, it still pulls on some heartstrings for me.
Oh, yeah. Do you know how many kids' BMX bikes became F-14s the second that movie came out?
Heck yeah.
So.
And for me, I worry that they're gonna mess it up. Because look how many movies that have been remade or the sequels that came out later, and they were just awful.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, you just ruined the original for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm gonna wait and see what the people reviews, not critic reviews. I want to see what the people reviews say about it.
Yeah.
Before I go and see it. Just because if people are saying, like the regular Joe reviewers are saying this movie is garbage, I'm just gonna pretend like it doesn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I don't want to ruin the original.
Yeah.
Because it definitely holds a place in my memory of my youth, right?
Oh yeah.
So it's like if you ruin that movie, it's like, oh,
can you be forgiven?
Oh no.
Just look at Star Wars Episode 1, 2, and 3.
Right.
They were so bad.
So I'm not gonna lie to you. All right, my girls wanted to watch Star Wars, and my brother is a huge Star Wars buff. And we asked him, we said, what order should we watch these in? Because we watched them as they came out.
Right.
Which was, 4, 5, 6.
Correct.
Then 1, 2, 3. Mm-hmm. And then 7, 8, 9. Well, 7, 8, 9's coming out.
No, 9's out.
Is it?
Yeah.
Really? Mm-hmm. Why do I think that was just coming out this year? Or next year?
No.
I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 7, and 9.
Yeah.
Okay. Do I show them in that order? Or do I show them in chronological order? My brother-in-law said go chronological order because they're young.
Yeah.
1, 2, and 3 are much more palatable for kids.
Yeah.
4, 5, and 6 can get a little rough for kids.
Well, especially Empire Strikes Back, which
Yeah.
is dark.
Yeah.
And if you don't understand like the some of the things that are going on, like, you know, like Luke, I'm your father, like that, you know, mind blowing. I can only imagine the kids in the 70s, late 70s, early 80s, seeing that for the first time, just minds blown.
But no, let me ask you something though, because if you watch 1, 2, and 3, it kind of gives away the Luke, I am your father.
It does.
So you don't like when we watch those movies and he goes, Luke, I am your father. Like, do you remember like the mind screw?
Oh yeah.
that was
Yeah.
that was part of what made the movie unreal.
Yeah.
When he says that line, like, no.
Yeah.
But if you watch 1, 2, and 3 first, you already kind of know because the last name.
If you pay attention.
Right. Well, I mean, the last name kind of gives it away.
Yeah.
You know. So I wonder if you, by doing 1, 2, and 3 first, do you kind of screw it up for the kids when they watch A New Hope?
Yeah.
It's like, ooh. Because that is one pivotal part of the movie.
Oh yeah.
If you watch that one without watching 1, 2, and 3, you're like, no way.
Yep.
So we're going the 1, 2, and 3 route. I think they've watched 1 and 2 so far. I will say this though, 9 and 7 are the age. My girls are 9 and 7. I don't think they're old enough to understand all of it.
Yeah, they might not.
Because there's a lot. Excuse me. There's a lot of bouncing back and forth.
Yeah.
Between planets, between the Senate, who represents who. Like that can kind of get a little confusing. So
it's kind of a big setup, and as bad as they were, and they were bad, but a lot of it is like they could have done a better job. But some of the story, it's almost like season 1 of Game of Thrones.
Yep.
It kind of sets everything up. So I try to get my wife into Game of Thrones, and she's like, "This is boring." She's like, first of all, like these brother and sister are like getting it on, and you know, this is like crazy. They just chopped that dude's head off, like because he left a wall. Like what is? And then she just couldn't get into it. I said, but you got to get through the first season because it just sets everything else. It's setting the board, you know. And I think that's kind of what, especially episode 2, when the Senate's debating this and that, and it's like there's a great Simpsons episode where they're talking about the debating and the parliamentary procedure and all that stuff that was going on, but it was still bad.
So when I was watching with my daughters, it was my second time through them. I feel like they were better the second time through. Mm-hmm. Like I feel like they got a really bad rap the first time through, and I was a diehard anti 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
But I think because we grew up and we saw 4, 5, 6 first,
Yeah.
and they were so much more impactful, even though like the graphics and everything weren't as good. The movies were so well done that I think that 1, 2, and 3. I don't know. I think we were disappointed in it.
Yeah, and like Hayden Christensen had no chemistry at all with, God, what's her name? Played Padme.
Oh,
She's from Long Island.
Nicole. No, I can't think of that. I can't think.
Yeah,
of
I can't think of her name either. But anyway, they had no chemistry together. It just, you know, there's the cheesy scene where they're running through the meadow. I'm like, this is Darth freaking Vader here. He's not running through a meadow. You know, they didn't do a good job of getting the real dark grittiness of that character that I think they probably could have.
It was both of them were very stiff.
Yeah.
Like, especially him. He came off incredibly stiff.
Yeah.
Especially when he came in. the kid they got to play young Anakin, I thought did a wonderful job. Mm-hmm. But then he turned into Hayden Christensen, and he was like just stiffer than stiff.
Yeah.
And that's not, the kid wasn't. The kid kind of had more of a jovial thing about him, right? And so the character just didn't fit. Like, you got introduced to the character, and then you got Hayden Christensen, and you're just like, ooh, this is how he ended up?
Yeah.
Hey. Well, thanks.
Yeah, this guy's a tool.
Yeah. So, how did we get on Star Wars?
I don't know.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute.
So what's your number 2?
All right, my number 2.
Now.
My number 2. I'm going to say the next 4 probably aren't going to be in any order.
Yeah.
But 2, I'm going to say Spaceballs.
Okay, good pick.
Mel Brooks.
Yeah.
I was a huge Mel Brooks fan. Mm-hmm. Which is funny because most of his movies were made before I was born. Mm-hmm. Like, Blazing Saddles was teeters on the edge of my top 5. That movie was made before I was born. Yeah. That movie's hysterical.
Oh, yeah.
I can't remember the other one. The History of the World, Part 1. History of the World, Part 2.
I think it was Part 2. They never made a Part 1.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, that was hysterical for me. Again,
yeah.
All movies made before I was born. The guy, for me, was a comedic genius. In fact, my favorite saying in any movie is by Rick Moranis as Dark Helmet, which, by the way, Dark Helmet was a hilarious take on Darth Vader.
Oh, yeah.
And he's on this ship, and I guess he's like looking at some radar or something. Mm-hmm. And he goes, he's talking about like Sergeant Asshole, Captain Asshole.
Am I surrounded by assholes?
Major Asshole. Goes, I'm surrounded by assholes.
Yes, I'm an asshole, sir.
Yeah, right. Like, for me, like, you can, anytime you're in a group of like just hurting people.
I say it at work probably once a week.
Yeah, it's hilarious. It's my favorite quote in any movie. I've got the meme saved on my phone just so I can always have it at all times.
Yes, you need to have it on cue.
Yeah.
You can't go looking for that one.
No.
What happens if you have no internet connection?
Right. I need that one all the time. I mean, Elon Musk with the Model S Plaid.
It has to be. It has to be.
It's definitely a reference for it.
Yeah.
They've gone plaid, sir.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. Like, there's so many. The jokes in there are so well done in that movie. The nuance to it. He did justice to Star Wars in it as well.
Mm-hmm. I love when they're combing the desert. And like,
I ain't found shit.
But it's like all the Spaceballs wear white except those guys. And they're black. They're like, did you find a report? And he goes, we ain't find shit. And it's an afro pic. And they're combing I don't know if you get away with that stuff today. I think the cancel brigade would be coming after you like.
That'd be tough. That'd be so tough. But it was hilarious.
Oh, yeah, everyone laughed at it.
Yeah.
You know, it was just one of those things that was just a funny, and you know they spared. She's Jewish,
right? Remember when they showed the before picture before she had the nose job?
Yeah,
it's like, oh my god. And the funny part is Mel Brooks is Jewish.
Oh yeah,
so he's the one making all the Jewish jokes.
Yeah, it's funny. No, that is a great movie. Another Mel Brooks movie was actually a play. The Producers, is hilarious. And in History of the World Part 2, they talk about the sequel. They give like the trailer for History of the World Part 3, and they have Hitler on Ice, which was kind of a thing for, which was the song he's dancing to is from The Producers, which is Springtime in Germany. Or Springtime for Hitler.
Right.
But that movie and play is absolutely hilarious. So yeah, no, I'm digging the Spaceballs pick. You know, what's the ship just keeps going forever and ever.
You remember the bumper sticker on the back?
I break for no one.
That's I die every time I see that. Every time I see that bumper sticker, and on the I think the license plate says Spaceball 1.
Yeah.
So on my phone, you know how you name your phone? Mm-hmm. I named mine Spaceball 1. And I named my work phone Spaceball 2.
Yeah.
Even though there's really no Spaceball 2.
Right.
But that's how much I enjoyed that movie.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think, my number 2, well, I think I'm in no particular order either. But a movie that I love is Office Space.
Yes.
Office Space to me is one of the, I love his character. You get like Ron Livingston is Jennifer Aniston's in it.
Yep.
And Ron Livingston, and I think it was Mike Judge that actually produced it.
Did he?
Mike Judge did Beavis and Butthead and King of the Hill. And I quote lines from that all the time. They've got the Bobs.
The Bob. Actually, I think we quoted that in the last episode.
Yeah. Federal pound me in the ass.
That's
prisoner.
right.
Like when he's talking to his neighbor, and he goes, "Hey, like when you go to work, does anyone ever say, sounds like somebody has a case of the Mondays?" And he goes, "No, you get your ass kicked for saying shit like that." And then he comes in, he's gutting a fish. Like, I love the movie. And, beating the crap out of the
fax machine.
The fax machine. In
the song that went with it as they're doing it.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that scene is great. And fun fact on that movie. The guy that plays Milton, with the stapler guy,
yeah,
his name was my stapler, and they moved him down to the basement. Yeah. They stopped paying him, and he just kept showing up.
We fixed the glitch. It turns out he was laid off years ago, but through some payroll glitch, he kept getting paid. So we fixed the glitch. We figured it all even out in the end.
So that guy though that plays Milton, actually ends up being a major character in the movie Dodgeball.
Okay.
I can't remember the character name, but he's the guy with the glasses that is on the Dodgeball team with Vince Vaughn and Justin Long.
Then there's the other guy. He's like, when the Bobs are talking to him, and he says, "What so what do you do?" He goes, "Well, I take the specs from the customer and give them to the engineer." Well, why can't the customer just talk directly to the engineer? Well, because the engineers aren't people. They're not people. They're not people. He says, "Okay, so do you physically take the thing to the specs to them? Is that what you do?" "Well, no, my secretary does that." Like, "So what do you say you do here?" He's like, "Can't you people see I'm a people person? Damn it!"
Then he gets hit by a truck.
Yeah.
Gets that settlement money.
Oh yeah.
And then Michael Bolton.
Yeah.
So you're telling me your name is Michael Bolton? I love Michael Bolton. Yeah. Yes, it is. And the whole time he's like, "I hate when people call me Michael Bolton."
I know.
And all of a sudden, the Bob's like Michael Bolton.
Yeah.
I am Michael Bolton.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites. Lumbergh. Yeah, that's a great one.
Yeah.
I'll always I think like in the movie he ends up like becoming the character he is because he runs into was it Tony Robbins or somebody on the elevator, like some self-help guru,
right?
He becomes hypnotized,
right? Well, it's funny because I don't remember when that movie came out, but my first job was that. I was that guy. I'd show up 2 hours late. No one would know. I'd leave 2 hours early. Nobody would know.
Yeah.
This is the best job ever.
But they're sitting there with Lumbergh sitting there with the Bobs, and he says, or when Ron Livingston goes in, "So tell us about your day." He goes, "Well, I usually show up anywhere from a half an hour to an hour late. I come in the side door so Lumbergh doesn't see me. Then I just stare at my computer for an hour and do nothing."
And then it's funny when Lumber goes and talks to the Bobs, they're like, this guy Peter. And Lumber's like, oh yeah. We love his honesty.
He's got management all written all over him.
Right. And you just see Lumber going, right.
Yeah. Great movie.
That is. What we got? Number 3 for me?
Yep.
Shoot. So obviously I didn't write these down ahead of time, so I'm gonna wing some of these. Man. These last 3 are gonna be tough for me to fill though, because there's a lot I like. I'm gonna say Goodfellas for me.
Okay. Solid pick.
Goodfellas for me, it was more my speed, or more of what I wanted to see in a mafia movie, than everyone else's number 1, which is The Godfather. Mm-hmm. Right? For me, Goodfellas was more. I think it was like the 70s to 80s mob. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's 80s to 90s mob.
Yeah, it's in there somewhere.
It was like 70s to 90s, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
But they kind of showed how the crimes were done, like how the mafia made their money. And for me, that was like a great part of the movie. But the characters were so well done. Yeah, for me, that was just a really good movie. Like that's one if it comes on TV, I'll watch it.
Yeah.
Because I know it by heart, and so like I said, if I'm doing other stuff, it's fine. Like I'll keep it on though and watch it. The only weird thing for me was I don't like the back third of that movie as much as I like the first 2/3.
Yeah, like when his life's like falling apart.
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm just not into it.
Yeah,
because it just focused on the cocaine stuff, which I feel like in the first like 2/3, it kind of like it takes you through like selling the cigarettes, paying off the cops, torching the lounge and how they made money and the coats and going in the back, and then all the social life, going to the clubs, and like for me, like there was a lot more. There's a lot more interesting stuff packed into the first 2/3, and then the last third, after he gets out of prison, it's just all about selling coke, and getting caught.
Yeah,
and I get it. I mean, the story ends with him getting caught, so you got to have that part in there. But I like the first 2/3 better than the last third.
Yeah, no, that's a good one. I liked. I want to say it was not Traffic.
Blow?
Maybe one of them, someone's daughter gets kidnapped. And I don't remember if that's Traffic or Blow. I think Blow has to do with when they're flying the cocaine across the country.
Yeah, it's with the Johnny Depp and Pee Wee Herman.
Yeah,
was Derek for real?
Yeah. And they had the flight attendants were moving it back and forth, and Traffic was okay, but Traffic was a little, I think Blow's the better one, but
yeah, I agree.
I like movies like that, but there's a lot of good quotes out of Goodfellas too.
Right?
Isn't "Get your shine box out of there"?
Yep.
Yeah.
And funny how? Tell me, how do I amuse you?
Yeah, then he's killing the guy. He's like, funny. Joe Pesci.
Yep.
So
that was one of his best roles.
Yeah,
that he did, which is saying a lot because he was in a lot of good movies. Mm-hmm. But like as far as mob movies go, I like Goodfellas better than I like Casino.
Okay.
And The Godfather. So that's why it goes in my top 5. Just because, as far as mob movies go, I don't think you can go wrong with that one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, that's a good. I guess in that vein, I'm a big fan of, and it might actually be in my top 5 here. Wolf of Wall Street.
Good movie.
Long, really long, but
it had
really. That was a good one, and then I keep getting Narcos mixed in, but Narcos is a series. That's a whole different thing. Yeah. So you just did your number 3. I'm not saying that Wolf of Wall Street's my number 3. It could be. One of my favorites is Boondock Saints.
Good movie.
Yeah.
Not really well known.
No, it was kind of like, I think it was an independent movie.
It might have been.
But you had Willem Dafoe was in it, played a great character.
Yes.
And then just the how those dudes kind of come about. But Boondock Saints was great. So in fact, I own that on DVD still.
I feel like I get confused a little bit by it. And I don't know why, because I know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But it's almost like there are parts of that movie for me that don't fit.
Yeah.
But I feel like the movie might be a little over my head.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was like someone a lot smarter than me made that movie.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't understand it all. But I get the basic premise of it.
Right.
And that's good enough for me.
Yeah, no, it's like I saw that in college. I just, I thought it was great. So they made a second one, which I never saw.
I didn't see it either.
And I'm probably glad I didn't because I'm sure the second one was probably crap.
They made it so far. I mean, this is exactly like Top Gun. They made it so far after the original.
Mm-hmm.
You lost all momentum with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the people that were going to go see it may never have seen the first one.
Yep.
Or on the flip side, the only people that went to go see it were the people that saw the first one. And if you didn't do it right, you might have fucked both movies.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, who knows? So, but yeah, Boondock Saints is definitely on my list. So, and the thing is, it's never on TV. It
can't be.
You kind of have to like
Too many people getting shot. You can't put that on TV.
You have to seek that one out.
Yeah. Although I say too many people getting shot. I mean, Goodfellas makes it on TV and they kill everybody in that movie.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I don't know why it's not on. I don't know.
But I think it's one of those. It's almost like a cult movie. Like
it definitely is, because there are some people that don't even know it exists.
Yeah.
Like you could tell if you tell someone about, hey, have you seen Goodfellas? They at least know what it is,
Right.
even if they haven't seen it.
Yeah. They'll know Ray Liotta and Joe Pesci, right?
Yes. Yeah. If you say Boondock, like, to be honest with you, other than Willem Dafoe, I couldn't tell you who was in that movie. I couldn't tell you the two main characters in that movie.
Yeah, me neither. Conor McGregor and some other Irish guy.
Right. Patty McPaddington. Yeah, other than Willem Dafoe, I couldn't tell you. It was a super interesting movie though.
Yeah.
Kept you involved throughout, which was nice. It wasn't exactly a fast movie, but it just kept your interest throughout.
Yeah.
Another movie kind of like that, and this is gonna be my number 4. Yeah, I'm gonna put it in. All right. It's kind of a cop-out movie because this is almost in everyone's top 5. Shawshank Redemption.
Never seen it.
Wow.
Yeah, there's another one. See?
Oh my God. I never expected that. I never expected you to say you hadn't seen it.
Yep, never seen it.
It's an amazing movie.
I'll have to check it out.
You will, yeah. It's entertaining.
Yeah,
it's slow as shit though.
My old boss at work, so we were talking about movies. Like, yeah, I've never seen that. He had a list of movies that I had to watch.
Yeah.
So I got through one of them. I watched The 300. Yeah, I hadn't seen that one either. That's a good movie.
That's a good movie.
Yeah. The cinematography is really weird in it, but it's because it's based off a graphic novel. So they're trying to mimic that. Well,
it was also made around the time of... Oh, why can't I remember? It had Mickey Rourke in it.
Mm-hmm.
It was the same cinematic type movie.
Like the sky always looked weird.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I can't remember the name of it. So if you know the name of the movie I'm thinking about with Mickey Rourke, that kind of had that same cinematic feature like the 300 did, put it in the comments below. If you can let us remember. Sin City.
Okay.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
That was a weird movie. Like, I'll be honest with you, I watched Sin City, couldn't tell you what it was about.
Well, 300, bunch of dudes got.
Yeah.
So,
by the way, the quote in that movie that I always talk about is Xerxes.
Yeah.
The guy, I am a merciful God.
Yeah. But I am kind.
Yeah, but I am kind.
Yeah.
But like, you reminded me, like, I think I brought that quote out when we were talking about Bill Maher.
Yeah.
And how he was, like, in his attempt not to be a pompous asshole.
He was a pompous asshole?
He was a pompous asshole, like Xerxes. Like, he was like, we have to welcome these Republicans back. And,
yeah.
and, like, what the fuck? You just said don't talk down to them, and you're talking like, and your way of doing that is to talk down to them.
Right.
Like Xerxes in 300. I am a merciful God.
Yeah.
I am kind.
Yeah.
Like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. And the way he says it, it's just, it's just weird. And they had like all the, you could tell it was kind of like the whole myth thing, because like they had the soldiers that were huge, and then they had like the, then there was like the humpback that lived and showed him the way through, because the Spartans weren't nice to him.
Yep.
Wouldn't let him come fight with them. So,
which was weird, because in the movie, he wasn't like, Leonidas was nice to him.
Yeah.
And apparently, like, I kind of read through some of the history of it. I don't think he was an actual, like, there was definitely some artist liberty taken.
Yeah, some artistic liberty taken.
Yeah.
On that. Yeah.
So it was interesting, but I mean the basic premise of it was right. Mm-hmm. But no, I thought that was a well done movie.
Yeah.
Although I couldn't tell. I always thought Russell Crowe and Gerard Butler were the same guy.
Oh, they kind of are.
Like, Russell Crowe did the Gladiator,
right,
and Gerard Butler did the 300.
Yeah.
I for a while I thought it was the same dude.
Gladiator's a good movie.
It is a good movie.
It's kind of like The Patriot, though, with Romans.
Patriot's a good movie too. That's why filling out my last two spots is gonna be tough.
There's also Braveheart,
yes,
which is like The Patriot in kilts.
Back before Mel Brooks went crazy.
Mel Gibson, yeah.
No, that's right.
Mel Brooks, Gibson, yeah.
Mel Brooks would have been good in those movies. So we gonna fight or what?
Yeah, yeah.
Show them your nuts, boys.
Yeah, but no, that Braveheart's a good one. Patriot's a good one.
I really like The Patriot. Yeah. I thought that was a really good movie. Don't get me wrong. I'm a huge Braveheart fan. I think I like The Patriot more though.
I do too.
And I don't know why.
Yeah.
Because I really like Braveheart.
Yeah. I love Patriot when he's running around the woods murking those British soldiers.
Hell yeah.
With his kids. I'm like, yeah, America.
This is why you lost the war.
Yeah.
Because Mel Gibson.
Yeah. I guess he was loosely based upon Light Horse Harry Lee, the Swamp Fox or whoever was. They call him the Ghost, but that character was based on the Swamp Fox, which is doing something similar.
Yeah.
But just not in North Carolina. It was in Virginia. So.
And I'm surprised there wasn't more of that in the Civil War, in the American Revolution.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of how they had the most success, was by fighting like the Indians did.
Yeah.
So, which really, if you look at the way modern combat's done, it's a lot closer to that than it is to lines of guys shooting at each other from 50 yards away. Now it's your turn to shoot. Oh, we're gonna camp here for the winter. We're not gonna fight over the winter. So,
well, the funny part, like when I was watching Band of Brothers, there's a lot more of that type of fighting than there was of the old, stand in front of the other people and shoot type of fighting. Like, I didn't realize that. I thought World War II is more of the old Civil War style.
Oh no, World War II. They would have that. So that's kind of how World War I started, which reminds me of another movie that I love, which is 1917. But in any case, World War I, they started that way, and then they switched over to, which reminds me of another movie, which is War Horse, another really good one too.
I have not seen War Horse.
War Horse is good.
The concept of it kind of was like, really?
It's really good. Yeah, Spielberg did it. It's not going to be crap.
Right.
So, yeah, I think if I were to include those, my list is over. But, yeah, no, the World War II, the combat, and the combat scenes they did in Band of Brothers was awesome.
Yeah.
So, everything from the jumps to the confusion to, the small unit actions. That's all it really was just small units, because from the second they jumped, the plan was out the window.
Yeah.
Because they got misdropped all over the place.
Another good war movie was Fury.
So I saw part of that, and then I was streaming it, and then I guess the power went out, and I lost, and I couldn't get back to where I was. So I need to watch that beginning to end again.
Yeah.
So
Real good movie, I thought.
Yeah.
Was that the same movie? No, that was the same movie I'm thinking about. Because Brad Pitt's in it. But there was another one I thought. I don't know, I can't think of it, but
yeah.
I like Fury a lot. I thought that was a real good movie.
Mm-hmm.
What was it? What was the one with Tom Hanks?
That was Saving Private Ryan.
Yes.
But there's another great World War II movie that might be on my list. Greyhound with Tom Hanks.
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, Greyhound's awesome.
I need to watch that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really good. But let's see, did you do 4 yet?
I honestly don't remember.
I think you did 4.
So let's see. Hold on. I did Goodfellas,
Mm-hmm.
Swingers,
Mm-hmm.
Shawshank,
Yes. Spaceballs.
Spaceballs.
Okay.
So I'm at 4.
Yeah. So just try to keep this show on the road. So I love Taken.
Liam Neeson.
Yeah, Taken. The first one. The sequels are kind of dumb.
Yeah. Well,
But the first one was absolutely awesome. You know, I have a particular set of skills that I love that movie, and I'm going to kind of lump Bourne Identity in with it because they're kind of similar.
yeah. Bourne Identity was a good movie.
And even all the Bourne series is good.
Yeah.
And I haven't ever seen a single John Wick movie.
I heard those are phenomenal.
Yeah. And Keanu Reeves actually went and learned how to shoot like that. So he's quite the accomplished shooter because he went and learned how to do all that stuff.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'm going to put Taken, Bourne Identity kind of together.
The Bourne movie, at least the first 2 were so good.
Yeah.
Like the depth they went into to kind of, not that they recreated his training, but you kind of got the idea of the skills that he had as an operative.
Yeah.
Instincts, certain ways of observing. Mm-hmm. Like it was so well done. Plus, it kind of added the air of, yeah, but this program probably exists.
Yeah. So I have a funny story about Bourne Identity. So I was in college when it came out. So my roommate and I decided to go see it. So we get our taste of the movie. I, of course, get my enormous, 50-gallon trash can sized bucket of popcorn, a vat of Coke. So somehow we end up go into the theater, sit down. We're the only dudes in this theater. And we're like, this is kind of weird. Like, Bourne Identity is not exactly a chick flick.
Right.
So we get there right as it's starting. And we can tell that it's all girls in there. And we're like, this, and like older women. Like, what is?
They're from Matt Damon, right?
No, they were not. They were there to see Divine Secrets of the Ya-Ya Sisterhood.
Oh.
Which my roommate and I sat down in. So all of the women in there said, it's so nice that gay couples go to see this movie. And I was like, hey, dude, I don't think we're in the right movie. He's like, no, it starts weird. I was like, I don't think it starts this weird. It's a bunch of little girls like sitting around reading a book or something. Like, let's get the F out of here.
Nobody's died in the first 5 minutes.
Right,
we're not in the right movie.
So then we walk outside. And we're like, oh, it's the theater right next door. So we go in, and luckily it had just started. We didn't miss that much of it because we kind of realized our error quick. We were able to punch out of that one.
Right.
But so I saw it when he's falling off the yacht, when he doesn't kill the guy. So then I had to wait for it to come out later to actually see what led up to that. But great movie. I love Bourne Identity.
Yeah.
So the car chase scene in that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Very well done.
yeah. And he's doing it in like a little mini.
Yeah.
It was like a mini
Was it-
Cooper.
was it mini?
Yeah.
I thought it was-
Not a new one though, the old version
Old
of
version,
it.
yeah.
Yeah. And he's just it's funny, he sits in the car with the girl, he's like, do you take care of this thing? She goes, what do you mean? Like, are you up on your maintenance and oil changes and all that? Oh, I don't know. He said, well, we're about to find out. Starts going. That is one of the best car chase scenes ever.
And I mean, another thing about, and we've talked about this before, was that the sequels were really well done.
Yeah.
Like, that was one where the sequels didn't screw the first.
Yep.
Because the first one was really good.
Yeah.
And the sequels were really good.
Mm-hmm.
Except for, there was one with, like, Jeremy Renner, wasn't there? Or was it Gerard Butler?
They did have one that didn't have Matt Damon in it.
Right. But then they brought him right back.
Yeah.
Because that movie flopped like crazy.
So I think there's a total of, is it 4 or 5?
I think there's 4.
Yeah. Because there's the Bourne Identity, there's like Identity, Ultimatum, Supremacy, and then I think there was one more.
Yep.
And then the chick that was in all those dancing movies like Save the Last Dance and all that stuff, she was in it.
Yes. 10 Things I Hate About You.
Yeah.
What was her name?
I forget her name.
Trivia question. If you know the name of her,
Yeah.
throw the name down in the comments for us.
And I thought that like when he found their safe house, that
Yeah.
he was gonna that she was gonna get murked, but he didn't kill her. So, because you remember she's like destroying everything.
Yeah.
So
She was good in that.
and she came back for some of the sequels too.
Yeah. She was good in that movie.
Yeah.
It was a big departure from what she had done.
Oh yeah.
So, like, to see her in that kind of a role was kind of like, oh.
Why can't I think of that girl's name? Whatever. It's not important.
I don't. Jeez.
You know the thing.
The thing with the guy. I got to get down with the thing at that time.
So I guess we're on your number 5.
My number 5, and this is going to be tough for me. Funny thing is, I thought we were going to be able to stretch it out to like 6 or 7 or 10. We're almost at an hour already.
Yeah.
I was surprised. Oh boy. My number 5. This is tough. And I'm debating whether I want to put it in there. Because it's kind of obvious.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to say Forrest Gump.
Okay.
And the reason why, because don't get me wrong, a lot of people think it's a cheesy movie, right? But it's one of those movies that kind of takes you through time.
Yeah.
With milestones. So it does the movie, but it takes you through notable marks in time.
Right.
So it gives you this fictional movie with the nonfiction added in.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, that like cinematically or story-wise was amazing.
Well, then the way they put him in
Yeah.
to some of these historic events, like, and then he met the president a whole bunch of times.
Right.
So, like, when he wins the Medal of Honor, and I guess it's LBJ that he meets. So I got shot in the buttocks.
And what do you go? I like to see that. And so he bends over and drops his pants. It's like,
He drinks a whole bunch of Dr. Peppers. Like, I have to pay. But it's funny because like he's in, like he's playing football at Alabama,
yeah.
and they have like Bear Bryant and then he ends up getting drafted, and he goes and he's been stupid and bad at everything, and then like he assembles the rifle and does all this, and the drill sergeant says, "Why did you Gump, why did you assemble that rifle so fast?" "Because you told me to, sir." It's like he's finally found something he's good at.
Right. And the drill sergeant's like, that might be the best answer I've ever heard.
Yeah. So, no, Forrest Gump's a good one. I thought, there's some good quotes out of it, because movie quotes too are good.
Yeah.
That kind of shows the staying power of it.
As far as, and this is going to get a little nerdy. For me, the depth of that movie, like I said, integrating a fictional story into the actual timeline.
Yeah.
And getting things correct.
Yeah.
With the real life timeline and matching it up to what he was doing.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that was amazing.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, the cinematography part of it, where they were able to put him in to actual video.
Yeah. And that movie came out in the mid to late 90s. So
Yeah.
like 95, 96, somewhere in that
Yep.
time frame.
Yeah.
So the fact that they did it then, using that technology, it's not like now where they could just like CGI anything.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, they could have cut out that was a long movie. They could have cut out probably a lot of the parts with Jenny in it.
Yeah.
But they had to keep it. I guess they kept it in because at the end when the kid comes into play.
Oh, yeah.
But I think they could have cut out a lot of her stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah, because she was always such a dick to him.
she was.
Yeah. So she just used him for a couple minutes and then roll out and go get run through by some other dude.
But the weird thing is, though, that's how they integrated the AIDS epidemic.
Yeah.
Was through her.
Yep.
And so that was interesting. I mean, like, I get why they kind of kept her in because they definitely were hitting on all the major parts of society back then.
Yep.
So for me, like, it was more of the reason why it's in the top 5 is just the way they put it together. Like, don't get me wrong, there were some cheesy parts to it and whatever. But the way it was done, I thought was phenomenal.
Yeah.
And that's why it gets in my top 5. No, I mean, there are probably so many movies though that I didn't put there that I'm like kicking myself a little bit, but I don't think I like the 5 I put in there.
Yeah.
What's your 5th?
So my 5th, and this could be number 1 depending on what day it is. I love Monty Python and the Holy Grail. That is
It's a classic.
hilarious movie. When they're riding through, they have the people with the coconuts.
Yep.
Just but a flesh wound when he cuts all his arms and legs off, and then it's they're at the French castle, and they're like, "Why are there French people in England?"
Right.
But or I will taunt you again. But there was Run Away. I love that movie. That is Monty Python's good anyway, but that movie was one of my and I saw it when I was really, and it's funny because I'll see it now and I'll get more of the jokes.
Yep.
That I didn't get when I was a little kid because like my parents watched it.
Right.
I thought another almost made it was Princess Bride.
That's a good one.
Good movie.
Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Yep. But
Mel Brooks again.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Princess Bride was
That's Mel Brooks too, wasn't it?
yeah.
Yeah.
Have fun storming the castle. That's Billy Crystal who said that. But yeah, when they but yeah, Robin Hood Men in Tights is tights.
Remember Blinken?
Blinken.
He was the blind servant. So when he comes back from Africa, and he goes and finds the castle's burned down, and this was like a take right out of Robin Hood Prince of Thieves, where he comes back and he finds that the servant his eyes were cut out. Well, in Men in Tights, they named him Blinken. I was just like, oh man,
Yes.
that's such lowbrow humor, but it was hilarious.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
Dave Chappelle was he was Achu instead of Aziz.
Yeah.
So Morgan Freeman, and it was definitely a playoff of Men in Tights, not any of the other Robin Hoods. Morgan Freeman in the original, his name was Aziz, which kind of sounds like a sneeze.
Yeah.
So they named Dave Chappelle's guy Achu.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, like, you just hit on so many different levels.
Yeah, because Morgan Freeman was the Moor
Yeah.
in
Prince of Thieves.
Prince of Thieves.
Yeah.
That was Kevin Costner, right?
It was. Look, I really like Prince of Thieves. I thought it was a great movie.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not, I mean, I wouldn't say it's top 5 worthy, but I loved watching that movie. There's a lot of movies though that I thought were really good. I mean, I just don't know if they're top 5 worthy.
Yeah, and see, my top 5 can change, like it, depending on, like right now, these are the ones because like I'm sure like, our picks probably influence one another because we did no homework on this.
Right. Well, that was another thing. We didn't tell each other what our 5 were going to be.
Right.
I think that was good because we might have had the same ones if we had just said, okay, name your 5, name my 5,
yeah.
and then shared them.
Yep.
So I think it was good that we didn't share them because we got 10 different movies in there.
Yeah, and like most things of topics we discuss on this show, there's zero prep work.
Right.
So,
There's no prep work needed.
but I think we'll have to do it again. We'll have to revisit like series. We talked about Band of Brothers, but
Miniseries definitely needs to be
Yeah.
a topic.
and then some are like just straight up shows, like Game of Thrones. That,
Yeah.
And then Breaking Bad is another. Like I love that one.
They
So-
had the John Adams.
Mm-hmm.
That was like a 6 or 7 part miniseries.
Yeah.
Band of Brothers was 10 parts.
Yep.
I'm telling you, this one, the one on HBO now, Winning Time, which is the story of the Lakers.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to see that. I also want to finish Dope Sick.
Dope Sick's great too.
I've been watching The Chosen, which is, even if you're not like into religion, it's still a really neat. It's done incredibly well, and you don't have to know anything about the Bible to get anything out of it. Like you can watch it and just enjoy it for a show.
For a laugh.
No, not for a laugh so much.
But I mean, for a laugh in the religious area, you can watch the Righteous Gemstones.
Never seen it.
I
never
watched it
heard
with
of
my
it.
wife.
Yeah.
we went through 2 or 3 seasons of it.
Okay.
So it's not a miniseries. It's,
Yeah.
I mean, but you could also talk about like Downton Abbey as a TV series.
Yep.
I mean, I kind of dug that period stuff.
Well, my wife loves that stupid Bridgerton show.
I can't get.
It just bothers me on
couldn't
so
get
many
into,
levels.
I couldn't get into it.
There's so much wrong with that. It's like, is this a costume drama? Then why are these dudes wearing tricorn hats when that dude's wearing a top hat and like tails? None of this stuff makes sense. If you're a history nerd, it just bothers you.
Yeah, I like period correct stuff.
Yeah.
Like I need it to be historically correct first, story second.
Yeah.
They both have to be good. I mean, like Downton Abbey for me was period correct, and it was a fictional family and everything.
Yeah.
but everything in there was genre correct,
Yeah.
time correct. I'm trying The Crown.
I tried getting into that. I couldn't.
So I dig it just because I kind of dig the whole royal family aspect
Yeah.
of it. It got more interesting. I'd say like the first 4 seasons for me were the better ones. As it got along, I was like,
I
But-
want to start. I want to watch We Own the City.
yeah, I haven't started that. I want to see that too. What was by the way, I mean, speaking of We Own the City, The Wire was a great series.
Yeah.
Oz, that was a good one.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of HBO was coming out with just banger.
Oh yeah.
TV
They had
shows.
some winners.
Yeah,
Like some. Yeah.
and I mean, Apple's coming out with some content that's their shows lack a little bit. Mm-hmm. I mean, Ted Lasso's really done well, but that's not in the same kind of
Yeah.
seriousness. But like you said with Greyhound,
Greyhound was great.
that was an Apple one. That was on Apple.
Yeah. And some of them, some shows that came out, like I loved House of Cards.
Yeah.
The first 3 seasons. And that just got too weird. And I never even saw it without Kevin Spacey. I really enjoyed Orange is the New Black until it just got too. It just got too.
It was like Sopranos.
Yeah.
That should have been 4 seasons.
Yeah.
Once they got away from the mob stuff and more into Tony's mental space,
Yeah.
that's when that's not the show I signed up for.
Yep.
You know, I want to see mob guys doing mob stuff. You know?
Gangsters doing gangster ass shit.
Right, that's what I'm watching it for, right? It was weird. It was the same thing with Peaky Blinders.
Yeah.
The first 3 to 4 seasons were where it's at. 5 and whatever season they come up with.
Yeah.
It was weird because it was almost. I want to say that the guy who directed The Sopranos directed the last couple seasons of Peaky Blinders. Mm-hmm. It was all cinematic.
Yeah.
Like when Tony was staring off in the pool, it was like 5 seconds of just him staring at the pool.
Yep.
Well, they did the same thing with Peaky Blinders. Like the guy would be staring off at the mountains for
Yeah.
5 seconds. Like, it was just dead space. Mm-hmm. It's like, no, like, stop with this.
Yeah. Yeah, and they some other shows did some dumb stuff like that, like Breaking Bad. There was a fly episode, which was just, I mean, it's an hour of this dude running around trying to catch a fly. I mean, it was terrible.
Yeah.
Then, you know, but there's some that they came out with one that was great, and then so like Narcos. Narcos was awesome.
The first season.
I never saw any of the other ones because I'm
I
like,
didn't either.
you know,
To me, it was over.
yeah, like we all knew what happened,
Right.
you know, so I really did enjoy Narcos. I mean, and not to say the other ones are bad. I haven't seen them. I can't tell you.
They should have named it something else, though.
Yeah,
It was a completely different drug cartel movie.
yeah, because one was the Cali cartel, one was the Medellin cartel.
Right.
So
Just name it something else.
yeah, but
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Please like, subscribe, comment, share. Make sure to correct us where we got things wrong, or at least fill us in on some of those actors and actresses' names. Run over to dumbideapodcast.com. Click on the PIA private internet access link to get your VPN access, and we will see you guys next time.